Live with CDP Sports Talk, a weekly sports and entertainment podcast sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet. Live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And on audio via Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Radio Public, and TuneIn. Now, here's your host, Chris Palme.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Season 6, Episode 14 of Live with CDP Sports Talk, overall Episode 289. And again, Live with CDP Sports Talk is sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph-Lana Mall. Check out barrycullen.com for the newest selection of their new and pre-owned GM vehicles, or give them a call at 519-824-0210, or you can email them at info@barrycullen.com as well. Special thank you to Mark Cullen for sponsoring Live with CDP Sports Talk as well. And as always, guys, Live with CDP Sports Talk is on weeknights on WQEE 99.1 FM in Metro Atlanta, the home of Southern talk and sports as well. And a shout out to Ryan O'Neill as well. Guys, I'm really looking forward to my guest today. It's her first time on my show, and her name is Chelsea Ray. She is a country music singer, songwriter, and I'm going to bring her on just shortly. 1 second. I'm just having an issue with my graphics here. 1 second. We're going to bring on Chelsea Ray, and we're going to talk a little bit about her background and her music career as well. Good afternoon, Chelsea. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. So how's everything down in Nashville right now?
The weather is clear right now. We're supposed to get some storms this weekend, but everything has been great here.
Okay. Oh, and I was going to say, so that storm the other night wasn't too bad then on the Sunday night?
It got pretty bad when we were taking my daughter to the
hospital.
Yeah, the walk-in clinic or urgent care. It was not pretty, but we kind of got out of it, so that's good.
Definitely. And we had some tornado warnings around here recently as well. So it's that time of the year in the summertime you get inclement weather.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I got to ask you this, Chelsea, since I have you on. I guess you were on a podcast show yesterday called Live Country Sessions in the UK?
I was, yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So they interviewed me and just asking about my music and, what got me into music and what drove me to Nashville. It was really cool getting to answer some questions and telling them new details about my music and what's to come, and told them that I would love to tour the UK. I think that would be a really cool thing to do.
And from what I've been told, country music is really taking off in the UK.
It has, yeah. That's exactly what he told me too. He's like, country music's really taken off here.
Oh,
And
that's
we were
awesome.
talking about, how it's been really hard to book shows here in Nashville. It's getting harder and harder.
I was going to ask you that as well. Just
yeah.
How does can you just explain to my audience how that process is to book shows in Nashville?
So you just it's about who you know, but you also have to send a lot of emails out and just reach out to them and be like, hey, I'm Chelsea Ray. I do this and that. I do this music. I would love to play your venue if you would consider me. You send them your music and everything, your website. So, and then they select you if they like it or not.
How competitive is the music industry right now, especially in Nashville, Tennessee?
Very competitive, especially, women against women in country music. Because, we're all trying to do the same thing. It's competitive. But what's really nice is we all support each other. It's women supporting women here. And we boost them up no matter if they get to play or we get to play, it doesn't matter. We still support them 100%.
How important is it to have a strong support system going into the music industry? Family, friends, etc.
To have support for music and have them behind you, that means more to me than anything else in the world, because you hear a lot of people saying, oh, you need to get a real job and this and that. So for everyone to love what I create and the feedback I get from my family, that means everything to me. And I want them to be 100% honest and brutal, because
I mean,
it makes me grow as an artist.
any career, that's the only way you get better. Is I want to, with my show and my work, I want to hear the good feedback. Obviously, we all love positive feedback, but if I'm doing something wrong or I need to improve on, I need to hear that feedback as well.
Absolutely. You need that criticism to move forward.
Absolutely, and you can't take it personally. And what I was going to ask you, Chelsea, as well. Any career, you're going to have your successes, but you're also going to have your I wouldn't call them failures, setbacks, and what I would say is don't take them personally and just use it as motivation to get better and to prove people wrong.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly right. You can't let it affect you, and I am one of those people who take things very personal, because I have a very soft heart, and I wear my heart on my sleeve, and if I upset people, I'm a people pleaser. I try to do this and that, and if I make someone mad, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, please don't be mad at me."
I can relate to that too, as being a people pleaser, and sometimes it gets you a little disappointed because you can't do that. So, but that's
Oh,
something you're born with. That's the way
yeah.
I've always been like.
I was told that I'm a little too nice.
Well, I still think you can be nice and be successful in any career.
Yeah, I agree.
And
You,
one thing I've learned from this show as well, Chelsea, is to be yourself, like be myself, not to be somebody that I'm not, and I'm not going to do that.
that you can't be, because if you're trying to be someone else, then how is how are fans gonna get to know you, the real you?
Absolutely. Now you've done podcasts before. Is this your first Canadian podcast show you've done?
Yeah, this is my first Canadian podcast show.
Okay, well, just in a couple years from now, just don't forget about me when you're even more successful.
I won't ever forget about you.
No, that's awesome, and that's the one thing I love about this podcast show. It's not just doing the show to get in a new career. I'm meeting new people. It's not just I've obviously I meet new people, I connect with them, but I've also made a lot of friends. This is gonna sound corny, but I've also made some friendships out of doing this as well. And doing this media work has changed my life.
That's awesome. I'm so glad that you decided to do that. It's great getting connect with other people, artists. It doesn't matter who it is. You're learning about someone else's life.
Absolutely, and every show I do here, I learn something new from my guests.
Yeah, there tons of things. It's
Absolutely, and the storytelling part of it as well.
learning the background of a person,
Yeah,
where they come from, what started them in their career, where they want to go, where are they headed.
absolutely. But just to let you know, and this is on the record, I tried karaoke a couple years ago in New York City, and I emptied out a bar. So I did have a few drinks in me, but I don't have any God-given musical ability. So just to let
But
you know,
did you have fun?
I did. I did.
See,
I should share you with I should share you one of my videos, but I don't post it on social media because it was bad.
I think all that matters is that you had fun with it.
Yes, I did, and I always have fun coming to your country as well. And I've never been to Nashville. Since I have you on, Chelsea, quickly, just thoughts on you've been in Nashville since 2010, I believe. Just thoughts on that whole city and the whole area.
Yeah, Nashville has changed so much. There, like, buildings are coming up, and I will say I used to go to Broadway, to watch people play, but it's just gotten a little too crazy for me that I like to stay in Midtown. That is probably my favorite area. That's where I like to play a lot of my rounds and shows at Tin Roof, Winners, Losers, Nashville, Listening Room Cafe, definitely top one.
What's the biggest audience you've played in front of so far?
The biggest audience. I believe there's one venue I played that had about 2,000 people, so that was a pretty good one.
2,000 people. Now, before you play live, Chelsea, I've asked this with other musicians. Do you have any superstitions or rituals before you do a live performance, or something that gets you in the mood, like concentrate?
I I will listen to my songs before I go to play a show. I'll just play them on repeat. Especially the ones I have on my list. I'll just replay those in the car, and then
Okay.
I do practice in the car before I go into a round or show, just to make sure I'm very prepared.
How long is your show on average, time wise?
About 30 minutes to an hour, depending on, say, if we have a round and there's 4 people, that'll be 30 minutes. And if we have 3 people, that will be an hour.
Wow.
So you get 4 to 5 songs.
Now, Chelsea, do you have a vocal coach, or did you ever have a vocal coach when you were starting up in the industry?
Yeah, I did have a vocal coach. I didn't when I was younger, but when I moved here to Nashville, I met Dave Brooks, and he coached me for about 4 or 5 years, and he kind of helped with my EP and put that together as well. And then I kind of just been doing vocal exercises off YouTube and stuff like that.
How long are vocal exercises how long do you normally do those for?
30 minutes, 30 minutes in the morning, and then 30 minutes in the afternoon.
Wow.
And I will
Yeah.
say I'm consistent with them as I should be.
And any career you're in, if you want to be successful, that's a huge word you just said there, Chelsea, is consistency.
Yeah.
Definitely. Now, before you go on and do a performance and after, what do you like to drink? Obviously, do you like drinking water, tea, or what? Or what do you like to drink?
I like to drink water.
Water,
Ice,
yeah.
a lot of ice.
Yeah, same here. I like water, but I like it with ice.
Also, say if my throat's a little scratchy, I'll do honey, like drink a little bit of honey before I go on.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
really soothes and coats your throat, and it feels amazing.
Now, when you're performing, you sing your own. I believe you got 8 songs now. Do you have
Hmm.
any other favorite bands or solo artists that you like to perform to?
Yeah, I Carrie Underwood is my role model, and
Good,
she's my so I
good
like to
choice,
her.
Carrie Underwood. Okay, I just
She's
eh.
powerhouse.
Have you met her yet?
I met her in the elevator one time at the CMA Awards, but that's
Okay,
about.
that was pretty good. Did you get a selfie with her?
No, I didn't. I wish I
No.
did. But
Ah, yeah.
she was getting ready to perform, so
You'll meet her again.
yeah.
Just a matter of time. All right. Well, I'm going to start with some questions, Chelsea.
Okay.
As you know, I'm in a city called Guelph, Ontario, which is about an hour from Toronto and 2 hours from Buffalo, not far from the States. Can you just tell my audience here and also internationally that's watching and listening a little bit about yourself?
So I am Chelsea Ray, and I'm originally from Peoria, Illinois, which is central Illinois near Chicago. I moved to Nashville. I came here in 2011 for a reality show. Lived here about 6 months. I was still kind of sick then, and then I moved back. And then in 2012, I officially moved to Nashville, and pursued music. I got sick when I was about 12 years old, and that's what drove me to music. I started writing, it was my outlet, it kept me fighting. And my mom knew that this was going to save my life, so she moved me here to Nashville so I could keep pursuing music. And then I knew I wanted to do that as a career.
How much of an adjustment was it going from Illinois, the Chicago area, to Nashville at the beginning?
It was, so we were traveling back and forth for a couple of weeks. It's a lot of traveling, but it was amazing too. And it just made me look forward to coming back to Nashville when we did. And to do that reality show, the executive producer passed away 2 weeks after we wrapped it up, but it was an incredible experience. I've never done anything like that. It was going to be like Battle of the Bands mixed with Jersey Shore type thing. So, I mean, that was just really cool to kind of be yourself, but not be yourself, kind of someone else too. Something I've never done before that put me outside of my comfort zone.
Do you remember the first song you sang in front of an audience and the first song that you wrote yourself?
I wrote a song for my mom when I was younger. I didn't know how to quite play guitar yet. She got me into guitar lessons when I was 15. I took those up for about 6 months, but it was a Mother's Day song for her, just thanking her how much I love her and all that she's ever done for me. And the first song that I played out live was my song off my EP, Every Storm.
Okay. Before we get into showing my audience your video, break up to makeup, this question I wanted to ask you, Chelsea. When did you show an interest in the music industry? And besides your mom, did anyone else in your family influence your career?
So no one in my family sings. They never got into music. I sang rap when I was younger. I did that first.
Awesome.
I would just sing all different things, and then my brother, he's older than me a little bit, and he started listening to country music. And at first, I was like, no, I like pop, rap, all that stuff. And then I really started getting into country music and learning about what country music really is, and it's about true stories. So
Absolutely.
I fell in love with country music, and I knew once I started playing guitar and then moving here to Nashville, I knew this is what I wanted to do.
Who were some of your favorite country artists when you were growing up and first starting in the industry?
My Martina McBride, Leanne Rimes, Blake Shelton, Keith Urban. Those were, and George Strait for sure.
Good choices. One thing I wanted to also ask you, how long did it take you to learn how to play guitar? Did you pick that up right away, or did it take a lot of practice to become good at it?
Well, it's funny that you say that because my guitar coach or teacher that I had back in Peoria, it was the music room. It was called the music room, and it's in Peoria. And we learned a Carrie Underwood song, and I got that down in 10 minutes. I knew
Wow.
chords, I remembered everything. My strength is chords and progressions.
Okay. I just wanted to ask you that. Chelsea, I got to ask you this also since we're on live stream. Do I have your permission to play your latest song, "Break Up to Make Up," on my show?
Yes, absolutely.
Because as you know, YouTube and Facebook and all these sites are very strict with copyright. So I always do this with my guests, especially musicians. So I just wanted to play a little clip of your song, your latest song.
Yeah,
Okay, 1 second.
awesome.
Let me know if you can hear it okay.
Okay. Sweet talking, at my door knocking, singing my favorite songs. When you're leaving, I can already see it. Right here's where you belong. Leave the light on up till dawn, waiting for you at my door. Gone for days, set in your ways, keep coming back for more. Break up to make up, then repeat again. We're just texting and fighting to say we're only friends. Say you're gonna change, and I know it's just a lie. We know it's a matter of time before we break up to make up. Yeah, break up to make up. Here you are, saying that you're sorry, but then you went and did it again. And every time you tell me not to worry, my patience runs too thin. Just when I think I might have found somebody new, then you call me, saying that you love me, bring me back to you. Break up to make up, then repeat again. We're just texting and fighting to say we're only friends. Say you're gonna change, and I know it's just a lie. We know it's a matter of time before we break up to make up. Yeah, break up to make up. Screaming and shouting, always leaving me doubting that I'm ever on your mind, and it's just a waste of time. You turned off the cable and left your keys on the table. Still I left the door unlocked, but I never hear you knock. Break up to make up, then repeat again. We're just texting and fighting to say we're only friends. Say you're gonna change, and I know it's just a lie. We know it's a matter of time. We know it's a matter of time before we break up to make up. Break up to make up. It sounds
That
so good.
that clip was courtesy of your YouTube channel. And where can my audience find you on YouTube to subscribe?
They can find me at Chelsea Ray Music.
Perfect. And I've already subscribed as well. So I hope
Yeah.
that helps.
And it has that verification, the little music note, so it's not hard to find.
Definitely. Hey, I got to ask you a couple of questions about that song.
Yeah.
We'll do one at a time, but what influenced you to write that song?
So I co-wrote that with Dylan Reed, and I was waiting for him at my co-write. We were writing at NSAI Nashville, and I was just playing around with chord progressions and melodies, which I'm not strong at, but that one I was. And then he was telling me a story about his friends that, were breaking up, making up. And I was like, that would be a great title, because people go through that. So we just started writing that, and the words started pouring out, and we wrote it in 45 minutes, probably.
45 minutes? Wow.
It was quick. It's like
Okay.
it itself.
Okay. My next question I was going to ask, you've already answered it. I was going to ask you what the time process was for that song, but
Yeah.
generally for your other songs, what's the time process on average for your other songs?
Okay, so Lips of a Liar, I wrote that with Shy Rose, and that one that one wrote itself too. That about 30 minutes we've had. Laid My Cards Out was probably about 10 minutes long. I wrote that all by myself. That was after a big breakup. And then the longest song I think was Listening to You Leaving. That took
Wow.
about 3 hours.
On average, how long are your normal songs? About 3, 4 minutes?
With the new time, I like to do about 250 to 3 minutes.
Okay. And the studio. Do you have your own studio in Nashville, or do you have one that you rent out when you need to use it?
No, I rent it out when I need to.
And how hard? And it's not an easy process getting a studio in Nashville.
It's not, they're all booked up, but sometimes you have to wait for 2 to 3 months. They're booked out.
Wow, 2 to 3 months. Have you ever had to go out of Nashville to get a studio then for any of your songs?
I Before I wrote Revival, my EP, I recorded in Effingham, Illinois, one of those studios, just to get the feel of it because I've never been recorded before, and I'm like, oh, let's see how this is. But Nashville's been the staple for recording music.
And I have a viewer on Facebook user. Great song, Chelsea. I'm listening from a country music festival in Bay City, Michigan,
Oh wow!
featuring Nelly and lead singer from Rascal Flats and Gary Vox. I will be sure to share your song in this podcast.
Oh wow! Thank you so much.
And that's the great thing about this show too. I'm trying to get more people to watch, audience, and participate and ask my guests questions as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, Face,
That makes me so excited. Just, I want
yeah.
to get the song out there.
Well, on this podcast is not a local show; it's an international show, and it's great to have people on here. So, Facebook user, whoever you are, thank you so much for watching this. And yes, and the guests make a show. I'm just the host. People want to see and hear from the guests.
Yeah, and I love Rascal Flats. They were one of the ones I listened to pretty frequently when I was younger.
Do you have any specific favorite songs of his since we have him bringing him up here?
Yeah, it's a sad song, What Hurts the Most. I could replay that over and over.
How much has music been an impact in your life, Chelsea?
Music has been the biggest impact in my life. It has saved me. I think if I didn't have music, I don't know if I probably would have survived all my illnesses because it just gave me a reason to fight. Like this tattoo right here, it's keep the dream alive with the music note.
Awesome.
I got that when I was 21, and that I never let that dream die. No matter how sick I was, I'd be in a hospital bed writing music. And that's honestly sometimes where I get my best work from because that it just kept me hanging on.
And ironically, about a month ago, I had a nurse here in Canada that works in a hospital, the nurse, and now she's a musician, and she gets her music from being working in a hospital as a nurse. And
Wow.
her name is Gracie Jett. If you could ever check her out, she's a very talented person as well.
Yeah, I will definitely check her out. That's incredible. I mean, it's just about experiences with life. It's about your life, but the way you write it, you put it first person so other people can relate to it.
Yeah, I'm doing a little plug for her, by the way. She just wrote a song called Nightingale, and it's basically about her experiences as working in a hospital, especially during the pandemic, which those couple years were tough times. And speaking of the pandemic, how hard was that for you in the music industry with the pandemic for those 2 years?
That was really hard. I mean, we were at a standstill, but that's kind of what brought TikTok on. And I did a lot of internet shows too, because I mean, that's all we had.
That's true, and this is what got me through the pandemic was doing the podcast shows, and I have some friends in California that are comedians, and
Yeah.
they had to do everything virtually. So, but thankfully, I could watch their performances virtually. So the internet, as much as everybody's got negative things to say about the internet, social media, and there are some negative aspects, it also has a lot of positive aspects. And I wouldn't be able to do this show without the internet and the technology and even though we're probably what 2,000 miles apart or 1,500 miles apart, I can see you and hear you clearly.
Yeah. And I mean, we wouldn't have been able to do music. I wouldn't have been able to write with my co-writers. So that's what we leaned on. It was virtual rights, virtual shows.
Absolutely. But there's nothing better than doing, like for me, as much as I love doing my show, there's nothing better than doing live interviews with people in person and
Absolutely.
being at sporting events again. And I still haven't been to a concert yet. I was supposed to see Billy Joe a couple years ago in Buffalo, and the pandemic put the
Wow.
kibosh to that. So I'm hoping one day to go to my first ever musical concert.
You haven't been to a concert yet?
No, no.
Billy Joel would be the one to go to too.
And when I've been in New York City, he hasn't been playing there. So my timing. So have
Hey,
you? I was gonna
time
say what?
just like that. Have you ever seen Country Strong?
No, I haven't.
That is probably one of my favorite movies. And there's a song called Timing is Everything, and that is a true thing.
Well, that's true because a couple years ago, I'll go quickly. I was volunteering for a basketball team. They needed a camera guy. I've never had any interest in broadcasting or doing camera work,
Mm.
and they obviously showed me what to do. They liked my job. They paid me for it, and then they're like, "Do you want to go to a cable company here and learn the TV side of the industry?" And I'm like, "Yes." And then that experience doing camera work led to my podcast show,
Wow. That's
led to my new career.
that is so cool.
I
I've always
believe in I
wanted,
believe in fate and karma and being in the right place at the right time.
it is. It's always about the right timing of everything that you do in life.
Absolutely. And I know you mentioned Carrie Underwood earlier, but did you have another mentor or mentors when you were first starting up in the music industry? And you already answered the second part of this question with your favorite artists and bands.
Yeah. I didn't have any mentors. I kind of did everything on my own. No, like I had people who supported me, like, family and stuff, but I never really had a mentor.
Okay. How important? I'm not sure. Do you have an agent, Chelsea? Do you have an
No, I
agent? No?
don't.
Okay.
I do everything on my own right now.
And what are the good aspects of that, and what can be some of the hardest aspects of representing yourself?
The hardest thing is, booking shows. I think if I had a team behind me, they could help me with that. Also with promotion, you're promoting all by yourself. I think having someone to help you can help get the word out more and send out tons of emails, but you got to do that by yourself when it's just you. So, in the future, I hope to look forward to working with a team.
And that's what my goal as well, is because doing this podcast show, people are like, you're at home, it's a piece of cake.
Yeah.
Booking guests is a full-time job. And then promoting your show, as you know, on social media is
Yeah.
a full-time job as well.
It is, because I mean, you're constantly promoting, and then like to promote break up to makeup on TikTok. I did that every day, and you just gotta keep making videos and videos and videos, and just keep sharing. And then it's like, okay, am I oversharing?
Thoughts
But
on thoughts on TikTok as well.
yeah, I mean, you're managing 4 social medias by yourself and
Yeah,
doing it on your own.
yeah, in the last year, Chelsea, I guess I produced over 8,000 minutes of content, digital content.
Wow. That
So, and what I do is I try to take good pride in producing good quality content as well.
Yeah,
And I just joined TikTok a couple years ago because I always thought, I'm too old for TikTok, whatever. But you know what? It's been a great experience, and I've made some friends there and connections off TikTok as well. And it's a great tool to promote my work and my guests.
yeah, and then just more people hear about it. I will say I'm not that great with TikTok, but I'm sure trying.
Well, you got to start somewhere, and if I can do it, anyone else can do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It
I'm
took
about it. I'm still learning my ways around the TikTok thing.
The only thing is, the more TikTok videos I create, the more it sucks up my memory space on my phone. So when I'm done with videos now, I need to like either save them or delete them because I don't want to run out of space. I use my phone pretty well for everything.
Absolutely. I have probably 16,000 pictures in my phone camera that I need to delete.
Wow, so do I. We're so similar.
Yeah. It's it's like I love memories and I can't let go of that. I'm like, I don't want them to go away.
Yeah, so I'm hoping my next phone I get has double the memory space because, like I said, I use my phone for everything and all my media work. And
Yeah.
this weekend I'm doing some media work, so I'm going to be doing more live interviews and taking pictures and stuff. And I love this. I do love this technology and stuff.
Yeah, just buy more space.
Absolutely. Um, Chelsea, you still good for a little more time?
Absolutely.
Okay, and after our show's done, I will send you a link to my YouTube channel, the video link, and then the audio link. And then when it airs on WQEE 99.1 FM in Georgia, I will let you know and I'll send you the link to the radio station as well.
So cool. I'm so excited about that. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, well, 3 years ago, who would have thought somebody in Canada would have his podcast show remotely put on a station in the Atlanta, Georgia area?
You're making waves.
And people have to realize this too, Chelsea, not just for myself, but anytime you start a new career,
Mhm.
you have to make sacrifices. You're not going to get instant money and fame right away, and it takes time to build your brand.
Absolutely. It's people. Some people think it's just overnight, but it's not. It's work. It is hard work and dedication. And
I
if
can,
you want it that bad, just keep going.
and just talking to you today, Chelsea, I can tell how passionate you are. That's how important in any career that you're going into. You need
And,
to have passion, and if you don't have the passion, then it's probably time to move on.
and you won't get anywhere.
Absolutely. This leads to my next question, Chelsea. Can you tell my audience a little bit about your five-song debut EP Revival? And what was that process like in the writing and recording of Revival? And how satisfying when it was released?
Okay, so writing Revival, that was very exciting. It was hard too, writing about my experiences of what happened. I'll give you a backstory on each song. So every song is about my mom and I, and she always told me hand in hand we can get through anything. I mean, she traveled 24 hours through the night just to get me to a hospital because I almost died. Then I was septic. I had a feeding tube, and she just she's amazing. She never gave up on me. She just kept fighting for me, and I just told her, we can get through every storm we go through. And that's for anybody. No matter what you're going through, if it's something different, whatever storm it is, you can get through it. And there's always a silver lining and a light at the end of the tunnel. So that's where that one came from. And that one I wrote with Carrie and Jean. Revival I wrote with Lexi McKenzie, and that's about not giving up and just this is your revival story. You made it. This is where you are now. You're sick and tired of being sick and tired. And it's just about getting to the other side. Laid my cards out. I wrote that in 2014 after a really hard breakup. Someone I dated from the UK. And I was in a lost place because that was my first real relationship. And that one just wrote itself, and I'm really proud of it because I wrote it at midnight and all by myself. 25, I wrote with Lexi McKenzie, and 24, I didn't know if I was going to make it. I spiked 107 fever out of nowhere. I had a GJ tube in my stomach that was killing me, and also allergic to titanium that made me bleed internally for a year. And 25 was the year that things really turned around for me, that I got better. And that's when I started putting Revival together. And I started recording it. And the studio process, that was my first time ever recording in the studio. Then I had a bit of a break because I got sick again. So I went to LA and did this treatment that did not very go well. They closed down and kind of did some bad effects on me. And then I got back in the studio and finished in 2018. So we started recording in 2017. So it took about a full year to fully get it done. And then Listening to You Leaving, I wrote that with Angela Marie and Jessica Rose. That was really fun. That's the one that took the longest. But that was just about, you're with this person and you keep hearing the same song or you keep hearing the same alarm clock and it just goes off and it's like you hear them leaving. And when you're in a coffee shop, you hear the same tone that you did when you guys were dating. So that's where Revival came from. And I just put all those songs together. And I worked with my vocal coach to practice that, get ready for the studio. We laid all my songs out and took my best ones and put it into that project. So I'm very proud of it. Um, yeah, it was very exciting. It was new to me. And recording in the studio for the first time was really hard because you have to stay in pocket. And if you're out of pocket, it does not sound good. I can't tell you, I recorded Listening to You Leaving from 10 a.m. till 2 a.m. in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Long day.
It
And
was
then,
hard for me. That one was challenging.
would you like to give your mom a shout out here on my show? And
Yeah.
hopefully she's watching.
Thank you, Mom, for everything you've ever done, fighting for me, fighting and firing every doctor that you have, and never giving up on me and saving my life and moving me to Nashville so I can pursue my dream. It's been a dream come true, and I'm just really proud of where we are today. I love you.
I think she did a pretty good job with her daughter too.
Thank you.
Okay, Chelsea. Currently, are you able to mention what you're currently working on, and do you have any plans for a future album?
So my goal is to release a full-length album, and I have the title called Changing Chapters because my life has changed in so many ways within 2 to 3 years. And I think, and I've been writing with some co-writers, and we just have everything laid out, and I'm like, this is perfect for this album. So I plan to make that come true. Changing Chapters is going to be my full length album.
Can't wait. And also, I'm an old guy, by the way. I grew up in the cassette era and the vinyl records. I
Yeah.
never thought they would come back. What's your thoughts on vinyl records now being popular again? And would you love to have your music on a vinyl record at some point?
Oh, I think it's amazing to have a vinyl record. That has actually been one of my dreams to have because I've never had anything like that before. I think it's really cool to bring back some of the old things because
Yeah,
everything's just so internet virtual now. I think it'd be really cool to have a vinyl record.
I can see 8 cassette track players and cassettes coming back as well at some point. It seems like the older you get, this retro stuff comes back as well.
Oh, the 80s and 90s are coming back in style with clothes.
Yeah. I will not wear bell bottoms. I grew up in the 70s. I will never wear bell bottoms.
I don't think I could either. Well,
No.
actually, I'm sorry, I lied. I do have one pair.
Yeah, okay. But for me, no. For me, no. I'm more of an 80s guy, by the way. For music, I like 70s classic rock, 80s. I find 70s and 80s are the best decades for music. And
Yeah,
I do like some Motown music from Detroit because I have family that lives in Detroit too as well.
yeah. I love watching American Idol and just seeing how they take all these songs and make them old to new in their own style. I've always been a fan of that.
I still believe the original songs for the most part are the best, but there has been some songs that have been done over by other artists, and they've been as good as the original one as well.
Absolutely. It's just
Absolutely.
it's just however you put it into words and how you sing it and the melody. It's really cool how you can take someone else's song and make it your own.
It's like I'm a huge Phil Collins fan, and "In the Air Tonight" is my favorite song. It's from 1981. But this band called State of Enemy, I think, or State of Mind, has
Hmm.
is now playing it, and I don't think it's as good as the original Phil Collins, but
Yeah,
I would say it's close to being as good.
That's awesome. I might have to check that out.
Yeah, it's called, yeah, State of Mind or something. But yeah, in the air tonight. But that's one of my favorite all time songs. And you're right. Sometimes people can do pay so much homage to the original song as well.
Yeah, I'm a 90s baby, so
90, that's okay. 90s was good for music as well.
I'm a little behind, but hey, that's okay.
Definitely. Just a couple more questions for you, Chelsea, and we'll wrap this up. What was
Okay.
it like? What was it like being 25, being nominated for recording of the year at the TSA Awards, and your single, "Every Storm," won Song of the Year for the 2019 Josie Music Awards. What was that like?
So being nominated for 25 Recording of the Year at the TSA Awards, that was my first ever nomination. And just to be recognized for that song and, the story behind it, that was truly amazing. Even though I didn't win, still being nominated and recognized for that, it felt really good. And it kind of gave me confirmation that, okay, my writing is good. And, it does inspire other people. And then at the 2019 Josie Awards for Every Storm, that put me into tears because I didn't expect to win. And that song means everything to me. That is the song that kind of glues me and my mom together. So to win that, it was very sentimental and shocking. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, wait, what? I froze for a second. I was like, did she just call my name? I was with my friend Brooke Butler. She was also nominated as well in that category, and she was really happy for me. So just to win that song and have the trophy and see it every day, it just brings me back to that day.
That's awesome. Uh, Also, I wanted to ask you, Chelsea, how important is connections in the music industry as well?
Very important, especially now these days. It's just about who you know and all the connections to if you want to play here or just kind of moving up or having someone guide you. Like to play rounds and stuff, friends of friends who know this person. Like I'm trying to get into Song Suffragettes, and it's just all about who you know. Lexi McKenzie, my co-writer, she's played, and she's like, yeah, you just got to keep trying and connect with them. So connections are 100% important.
Absolutely. Do you have any upcoming live performances? And in the future, are you going to be doing any more live stream ones so someone like me can actually watch?
Yeah, I planned. So in June 22nd, I was supposed to play for the Nash Bash collection, but one of the venues got canceled. So I have to reschedule and find a different day to find out a different venue. And then August 18th, I believe, we're playing the Nash Bash Collective again. It's a song circuit thing that you do. So I'm working on trying to get all the dates in order. And then I plan to do a live show so I can stream it in a couple months or about a month or so.
Okay, because just let me know, and I'd be happy to come and watch you play. Even though I'm in Canada right now, I'm gonna have to come to Nashville. And since I got you on here, what are some of your favorite things about Nashville, and some of your favorite restaurants and food in Nashville?
So I don't know if you like crab cakes, but Margaritaville has the best crab cakes. Um, my favorite restaurant, it's cliche. It's actually Longhorn that you can get anywhere, but I would say Margaritaville is probably one of the best restaurants downtown.
Also, any plans in the future, maybe possibly coming over to Canada to play?
I would love to. I I would love to tour new places. I think Canada would be top of the list, along with the UK.
Yeah, Canada's getting very popular with country music as well, and I definitely be glad to come and see a live performance if you could come to
Uh,
Ontario at some point.
yeah, absolutely.
All
I
right, and
book a venue and come play.
Definitely. And hey, and you know, I'll be glad to continue to promote your work on my social media pages as well.
That means so much.
You're welcome. And I do this with my guests lately. This is something I created for all my guests. What
Yeah.
are just some fun facts about yourself, Chelsea?
Fun facts. I can do the Stitch voice.
Really?
Yeah, I can talk like Stitch. Or Potch Pottle.
Oh, okay. That's kind of cool. That's kind of neat.
Another fun fact about me. I'm just like really outgoing and goofy. I can be ditzy sometimes. Um, and I love horseback riding. So that would be on my like time off and stuff that I love to do would be being around horses.
And do you like sports by any chance? Are you a sports fan?
Yeah, I like football and baseball.
Being from Illinois, I am assuming you Bears and Cubs?
Cubs for sure. Used to be
Cubs.
Bears, but honestly, Packers.
What do you miss? What do you, if there was one thing you missed about Illinois, what's one thing you miss about Illinois?
Family. Being able to see family every day. Because I don't get to go home as much, and I miss my childhood best friend and all the stuff we used to do. We used to be inseparable, so I wish we could all be together.
Well, what one good thing is this technology now. You can video time each other or FaceTime and stuff like that. It's not the same as in person, but at least the technology you can still keep in better touch with somebody than 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm thankful for sure.
All right, and leads to my last question, Chelsea. By the way, 50 minutes with you just flew by. By the way,
It's so fast.
yes, when you're having a good conversation with your
Yeah,
guests, time just flies by.
that's how it's just when you're having fun and not being focused on the time. It's just like that's it.
All right, I'm going to wrap this up with this question. For those who are watching or listening to this episode later on, or in Georgia, listening on WQEE 99.1 FM, what advice would you give to somebody who's looking to pursue a career in the music industry? And where can my audience find you on social media and your website as well?
So my advice for anyone who's wanting to get in the music industry, um, get out there, release your music, keep playing no matter what people say about you. Don't give in to the negative comments or anything. Just keep going, get connections, and it's all about having support. So, my biggest advice is have support behind you 100%, and you'll make it far. And then you can find me on Twitter at Chelsea Ray. You can find me on Instagram at Chelsea Ray Official. You can find me at YouTube, Chelsea Ray Music, and my website, chelsearaymusic.com.
And also, you're on Linktree too, I believe.
I am on Linktree, yes. I'm not good on it. And I'm also on TikTok at Chelsea Ray.
And again, I want to say, Chelsea, thank you so much for coming on season 6, episode 14 of Live with CDP Sports Talk. 289th episode today as well, here on
Wow,
this Friday, June 16th.
that's amazing. Thank you so
And
much. It was so much fun.
well, thank you so much, Chelsea. And you have an open invite to come back on again in the future. And maybe when you have some more new music
Yeah,
ready to come out to be released, I'd love to
yeah,
have you on my show and talk about your new songs.
that would be amazing.
Maybe you could write a song about this Canadian security guard that's now becoming a radio host, changing
That
careers later in life.
that would be a good song.
I just can't sing, so I have absolutely
Oh,
no talent.
co-writers.
Definitely. But Chelsea, I want to say thank you again for coming on here. And if you can give me a little bit of time, I will have this downloaded to audio platforms, and I'll send you a link to the audio and the video the video version of this as well.
Absolutely. Awesome.
All right. I
So
hope you. Sorry, what was that? What were you saying?
excited.
I hope you have a great evening and great weekend, and definitely keep in touch with me on social
Oh,
media as well.
I will, absolutely. Thank you for having me again.
Thank you so much, Chelsea, and say hi to your mother for me as well.
I will.
Okay, you take
All right.
care. Thank you so much.
Bye. Have a great night.
Bye. You too. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed season 6, episode 14 of Live with CDP Sports Talk, brought to you by Barry Cullen Chevrolet here in Guelph and on weeknights at 8 p.m. on WQEE 99.1 FM as well. Thank you so much to my guest, Chelsea Ray. She's a country singer, songwriter based out of Nashville, Tennessee, for coming on Live with CDP Sports Talk tonight as well. All right, guys, just to let you know, there's some, we're going to wrap this show up soon. There's CFL action on tonight. Winnipeg at Saskatchewan at 9 p.m. on TSN. And last night, Calgary defeated Ottawa 26-15. And I will be at the Argonauts home opener Sunday at 7 o'clock against the Hamilton Tiger Cats at BMO Field. You can get your tickets at argonauts.ca. The first 10,000 fans to the game at BMO will get a replica 2022 Grey Cup championship ring of the Toronto Argonauts as well. So fingers crossed, and looking forward to a great game between the Argos and Tiger Cats this Sunday at 7 o'clock. Again, it will be on TSN or TSN 1050 AM if you can't get to it. I want to say congratulations to my friend and now the new color analyst for the Toronto Argonauts, Ben Grant, who's been hosting the Argos X's and O's podcast for a number of years now. I want to say thank you. I want to say congrats to Ben Grant for becoming the color analyst of the Toronto Argonaut broadcasts on TSN 1050 alongside Mike Hogan this year as well. One of the nice guys, and he's very knowledgeable about the Toronto Argonauts. So check out X's and O's podcasts as well. Also, guys, before we wrap this up, like I do with all my podcasts. Give me 1 second, guys. I got so many so many graphics on here. Live with CDP Sports Talk again is a weekly sports and entertainment talk show hosted by yours truly, Chris Pame. Is now on weeknights at 8 p.m. Eastern on WQEE 99.1 FM. The Key, the home of Southern sports and talk, the heartbeat of Atlanta. You can check out the website at wqeefm.radio12345.com as well. Live with CDP Sports Talk is live streamed always on these platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. Thank you to everybody for watching this live streamed as well. You guys can also, anybody that would like to, they can follow my website at beacons.ai/Chris D. Pame. All my digital content and previous podcast shows are on beacons.ai/Chris D. Pame as well. Live with CDP Sports Talk again is sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet, 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. Check out barrycullen.com for the newest selection of new and pre-owned GM vehicles as well. Speaking of Barry Cullen Chevrolet, spring into summer at Barry Cullen Chevrolet here in Guelph. Spring into summer at Barry Cullen Chevrolet here in Guelph. 3.99% financing for up to 60 months on select SUVs such as a Blazer, Traverse, or Equinox, the 2023 models. Costco members eligible are eligible Costco members are. I'm going to reword this again, guys. Costco members are eligible for a $750 bonus as well. Even us podcasters and radio show hosts make mistakes as well. You guys can also follow me on TikTok at Live with CDP. I post a lot of content there, player interviews, coaches interviews, and general content there for my show and media work there as well. StreamYard is the official live stream provider of Live with CDP Sports Talk. If you're into webinars or podcasting, check out StreamYard.com. Finally, guys, Live with CDP Sports Talk, the audio version is available on these platforms: iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Anchor FM, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, Spotify, Castbox, LinkedIn, Stitcher, and tuned in, and also on WQEE 99.1 FM as well. You guys can also email or text live with CDP Sports Talk at cpame19@gmail.com, or you can text the show at 519-820-7188. I'd love to hear comments, suggestions, and feedback about Live with CDP Sports Talk as well. So we're going to wrap up this show, guys. But again, I want to say thank you to my guest, Chelsea Ray, for coming on. Please check out her website at chelsearaymusic.com. That's chelsearaymusic.com. I want to say thank you for her to come on. I do have another podcast tonight, guys, at 8:45 tonight, season 6, episode 15, number 290, tonight at 8:45 p.m. Eastern, with my guest, Courtney Mendenhall. She is a staff writer with the Virginia Gazette, and she's also working on a career in sports administration as well. So I hope you guys in the next 2 hours can tune in to Live with CDP again tonight at 8:45. Courtney Mendenhall as well. Again, thank you to Chelsea Ray for coming on, and just give me a little bit of time, guys, and I'll have this episode downloaded to my audio platforms as well. In case some of you are not able to watch at 8:45 tonight with Courtney Mendenhall, thank you so much to everybody watching this live stream and on my audio platforms. And for those, I'll see you guys in about an hour and 45 minutes for another edition of Live with CDP Sports Talk, brought to you by Barry Cullen Chevrolet and on WQEE 99.1 FM. Talk to you soon. And again, thank you to Chelsea Ray, country singer, songwriter from Nashville, Tennessee, for coming on tonight. All right, guys, take care, and we'll see you in a little bit for another edition of Live with CDP Sports Talk.